Hello and welcome to the Hawker Help Desk. I'm Kelly Royer with the American Business Development Group representing Enersys, the manufacturer of Hawker batteries. In this episode, I want to talk to you about the benefits of using AGM batteries. Now there's two primary components in a lead acid battery. You have the lead plates and the electrolyte. The electrolyte is made up of water and sulfuric acid. Now, most of us are familiar with flooded cell batteries because you probably have one in your car. The electrolyte in a flooded cell battery is contained in the battery by the battery's walls, which is why you don't want to accidentally tip it over. Otherwise, you could have yourself a hazmat mess. Now, the next type of battery is a gel cell battery. In a gel cell battery, a gelling agent, granular silica, is added to the electrolyte, which suspends the electrolyte in a gelatin-like mass. So you can actually tip the battery on its side, and you're not worried about the electrolyte leaking out under most conditions unless the battery is hot. Now, the next type of battery is absorbed glass mat. In absorbed glass mat batteries, we place a fiberglass tissue in between the plates. So, when you pour the electrolyte in the battery, it's absorbed in the absorbed glass mat material. So you can actually turn the battery on its side. It can be turned upside down. The battery can even be perforated, and you're not concerned about electrolyte leaking out. In fact, the Hawker ArmaSafe Plus battery can take a ballistic hit, and so long as it doesn't short out, it can still perform its duty. Now, it is exposed to the environment at this point, so over time it will dry out. So be sure to replace your Hawker battery as quickly as possible. Now, regarding the lead in the battery, in a standard flooded cell battery, they have to leave a space in between the plates. That's where the electrolyte goes. So they can't use pure lead because pure lead is very malleable, and over time it will bend and fracture. So they have to add something to it. That something typically is calcium. While adding calcium to the plates makes them more rigid, it doesn't increase its electrical performance. Now, in the Hawker battery, we do use 99.9% pure lead. The reason we do this is because it gives you greater cold cranking amps, more amp hours, and longer battery life. But the reason we can do that is because the lead is contained between the AGM material, which is all compressed together, which gives it very good vibration resistance and reduces the likelihood of the plates fracturing. Not only that, but we use TPPL, or thin plate pure lead, which allows us to get twice as many plates in the battery, which increases your cold cranking amps, your amp hours, and your battery's life. Now, with regard to the electrolyte consists of water and sulfuric acid. And in your standard flooded cell battery, they use distilled water. And while distilled water is fairly clean, it still has impurities. Now in the Hawker battery, we use carbon filtered reverse osmosis deionized water, which removes the remaining impurities, which results in your battery gassing less often. It reduces the battery's self-discharge rate and increases the battery's shelf life. Now, with regard to the sulfuric acid in the battery, your typical flooded cell battery uses what's known as technical grade. However, in the Hawker battery, we use fully 2 grades higher, known as American Chemical Society, or ACS, reagent grade. So as you can see, we use some very high quality materials in the battery to ensure that you get a very high performance battery. In fact, the Hawker ArmaSafe Plus delivers fully 500 more cold cranking amps than the same size flooded cell competitor. And most flooded cell batteries are primarily designed for initial starting, lighting, and instrumentation. And while the Hawker can do that, it's also a deep cycle battery, which means it can be drained more deeply and recovered more often than a flooded cell battery. Also, since the battery is sealed, you never have to worry about adding water. The Hawker ArmaSafe Plus battery is built with high-end, high-quality materials to reduce maintenance, yet provide deeper discharge, more recoverability, 70% more cold cranking amps, 4 times the operational life, 8 times the shelf life, and it has 6 times the warranty of its standard same-size flooded cell primary competitor.
If you have any questions or any other battery-related issue, please visit us at hawkerbattery.com. While there, check out our one-page quarterly newsletter called Hawker Headlines as well as our complete Hawker Help Desk training series in the Video Vault. Of course, you can always reach us on the Hawker Hotline at 877-485-1472.